Have you ever walked into a room to find your kids at each other's throats over a toy, over a seat on the couch, or who gets to talk first? Maybe you sigh and you think, why can't they just get along for 5 minutes? But what if those very conflicts you dread become some of the most powerful moments of discipleship? Today, I want to show you how to transform sibling squabbles into gospel-centered lessons that shape your child's heart for life. First, seeing conflict as an opportunity, not a threat. It starts with perspective. James chapter 4, verse 1 asks this: what causes quarrels and what causes fights among you? Is it not this, that your passions are at war within you? Every argument your kid has is an opportunity to show them the real battle is not over Legos or who's first. It's over their hearts. Instead of seeing conflict as something to avoid or strive, we can see it as a God-given classroom. Next time you hear raised voices, ask yourself, how can I help them see Jesus in this? That is because of number 2. We have to model repentance and grace. Kids watch what we do far more than what we say. When you lose patience, guess what they're going to do? When you react in anger, guess what they're going to do? When you speak harshly, guess what they're going to do? We need to instead own it and then let them hear us say, I was wrong for speaking that way. Will you forgive me? This simple confession does more than smooth things over. It demonstrates humility. It demonstrates repentance. Matthew 18, 21 through 35 tells us a powerful story about a servant forgiven of an unpaid debt, yet he was unwilling to forgive another. When your child sees you confess and forgive, they learn that grace isn't just a church word, it's a way of life. This is why we at Shepherd Thoughts have a whole playlist dedicated. It's called Start Here, Disciple Your Kids Under 12. Feel free to subscribe and binge watch to help you or remind you of great ways to make disciples with your kids. This is why we exist, to help you be more obedient to God's commission to us to make disciples. Number 3, need to help kids name their heart motives. So often we are quick to ask who started it or what happened. But those questions only skim the surface. Instead, maybe ask, what was going on in your heart when you did that? Was it jealousy? Was it pride? Was it your desire to be first? Colossians chapter 3, verse 12 urges us to put on compassion, put on kindness, put on humility, gentleness, patience. We need to help our kids see that the goal is not to stop the fight. It's transforming our hearts into the image of Christ. And when they recognize that they need to put off certain things and what to put on, they learn how to walk with Christ even when emotions go crazy and run high. This leads us to number 4, where we need to help them understand how to resolve conflict God's way. Conflict resolution isn't natural. It's learned. Matthew 18 gives us a quick blueprint. You go directly to the person. And teaching your kids to talk to each other first, not gossip, not tattletale. Speaking the truth in love, like it says in Ephesians chapter 4, 15. Helping them share how they felt without shame or accusation. Helping them be ready to forgive every time. These are such important steps. Here's where many families get stuck, is that forgiveness feels like you're letting someone off the hook. But biblically, forgiveness is different. Forgiveness is not waiting until you feel like it. It's not forgetting what happened. It's not excusing someone's sin. It's not demanding guarantees. Forgiveness is a decision to let go of the bitterness. It's a commitment to love them because God loved us first. The Young Peacemakers outlines 4 great promises that really we should make every time we forgive. The first is from Philippians chapter 4, verse 8. The promise is, I promise to think good thoughts about you and to do good towards you. 1 Corinthians chapter 13, 5 has another promise that I promise I will not bring this up against you, to use it against you. Another promise is found in Proverbs 26, verse 20, where you promise, I will not talk to others about this problem or this issue. Another promise is from Colossians 3, 12 through 14, where you say, I promise that I will be friends with you again. I will be your friend. These are practical, concrete commitments that teach children what forgiveness really is and how it really matters. And we need to reinforce this peace, reinforce reconciliation. Don't stop at resolving the conflict. Celebrate the reconciliation. When you see your child forgive and restore a relationship, point it out. I'm proud of you that you forgave that person. This is so good. You showed Jesus love when you asked for forgiveness. Or this is exactly what God calls us to do. This is imitating Him. And we celebrate these moments. It helps peacemaking become normal, even joyful and not scary. Forgiveness needs to be practically happening in our life. And you need to work at this because it's not normal. But before we move on, how can you help your kids or even yourself forgive better? Maybe you could ask questions at the dinner table, like, who do you struggle to forgive? Who's the hardest person to forgive? Another question we've asked is, why don't you want to forgive them? Or what do you feel you gained by holding on to that anger? Or what does God want you to do in this situation? You can even read Ephesians chapter 4 or Colossians chapter 3 with your family. These are all things you can do in preparation to helping your kids or even you be ready to forgive and be a peacemaker. And you need to talk about these needs, that you need to replace bitterness with kindness. We need to replace anger with compassion, and we need to replace pride with humility. Friends, your home will never be free of conflict at all this side of heaven. But every clash is a chance to show your kids that the gospel is real, that grace, forgiveness, repentance is not just an abstract idea, but it's a daily choice to honor Christ. Imagine the legacy you'll have if you help your children grow up to know that forgiveness is possible because they were forgiven. When siblings clash, don't just manage the noise. Seize the opportunity. Help your child see Jesus in the mess. And in doing so, you'll build a gospel-centered home, one humble conversation at a time. Let's raise individuals who are forgivers, not just kids that don't fight or run away or get angry, but that know how to live peaceably with all men. If you want to grow in your personal walk with Christ and in your ability to make disciples, check out our 7M Discipleship Blueprint. The link is below. We're here to help you be obedient to God's commands to create followers of Christ. Now, we want to hear from you. What has been the hardest part of helping your kids resolve conflict? I know one of ours, which I didn't mention here, is we have an autistic child. Conflict resolution is different and takes a lot longer of a time. It's real. Share your experience in the comments below. I'd love to hear your story and walk alongside of you, pray for you, and we can start this conversation to honor God and to make disciples together. God bless.